Okay, y'all, I'm gonna try my best to show y'all how I can get through this mix real quick. It's really simple, you know. I already went ahead and made the session, dragged all my stuff in.
You found me in the
This
strangest
is a
place.
crossover strangest place. So there's the instrumental. So before, let me just hold up, let me just back up. When I got everything in, I look at all my metering with Pro Tools. Very simple. I don't know if y'all can see this. This is already at 0 dB, and you could see this file right here. This file right here is unbelievably just hitting the wall. If I play that back, well, if I play that back, we gonna see that there's issues, and I am having issues right now. It's crazy. Playing it back because it's just gonna be extremely loud. So let me go ahead and hold up, playback. Whoa, that's loud. Oh, let me turn down my preamp. Okay, so the first thing I do is try to let me make a master. So this is pretty easy, man. Pro Tools is really easy. I mean, view the mix window. You can see all the things you're trying to view. Edit window, same thing. There's a external audio suite, so you can have, add EQ, dynamics, or whatever. These are the inserts over here where I usually add stuff. But let me just try to make my other track. So track, new, pretty easy. There's gonna be stereo. There's gonna be an aux channel, which I'm gonna be using later. Make another one, stereo, master channel, master fader. Okay, so there we go. Now I got my master. As we can see, I don't know if y'all can hear it, but I know it's gonna be a little difficult because they're playing off my headsets. My meters, I don't want my meter to be like hitting all the way up there already. You know what I mean? And look how much headroom I have in here. That's not enough headroom for me. So what I like to do is I come over here, and this is a pre-fader gain. This is pretty much like you're using your gain control on your interface. You know what I mean? So I like to not do that. Turn this down at least like 6-7 decibels, 6.6 decibels. You know what I mean? Like that gives me enough headroom when I'm mixing. I'm probably gonna have to do the same thing with the vocals, but as y'all can see, let me go back. Let me try to hit it where the drums come in. So these are the vocals right here. They're a little too loud, but you can see I have enough headroom now. It's still clipping on certain parts because of the vocals, but I'm gonna show you real quick. Try to get this leveled out. Um, let's see real quick. I think that sounds perfect there. These were good. These were good. I didn't really have to touch these, but the vocals, yeah, they were slamming at the top. So you want to check that gain control. But just as long as there's no distortion when you recorded it, I can gain control here. So this is gain staging right here. So now when I look at my meters and I'm playing the track, I shouldn't be clipping. I should have enough headroom. Um, this thing is lower now, so let me turn it up a bit. I know y'all can't hear the mix. It sucks. Y'all hear the overall result though. Let's see. It's still kind of going up there a bit. That should be perfect right there. -10 and the kick is hitting 5. That's perfect right there. -10, the kick's hitting 5. So I try to go for rule of thumb, gain staging, first thing, always first thing. Let's see if I'm recording. Okay, we're still recording. Good. So let me make this smaller if it lets me. Sometimes it's be acting up on me. Yep. gonna have to do it from right here. Okay, so now the first thing I like to do on vocals is make sure I don't even need this reference track. Honestly, I already got everything lined up beforehand. Just delete that. But you see, keep in mind, like if you look at the second track right here, you see how loud that is? I just made it lower by 7, 8 dB so I can have that headroom when I'm mastering, when I'm mixing and mastering. So what I like to do is throw on a little bit of noise reduction. So this kind of works like a, I would say maybe like a noise gate, but not really. Oh wait, this is stereo. Okay, so stereo. And I kind of like try to kill.
Yeah, you found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart.
I don't want to cut
You
too
told me
much, so
it'd
I
be
think that's
okay.
good right there. It's gonna render it. So this is pretty much cutting out on processing power. I don't have to put it in my signal chain. I can just do it beforehand, and now the work starts. So now I don't have to do any editing, any cutting or nothing. That pretty much did it for me. So what I'm gonna do now is on the
Yeah,
vocals,
you found me in the strangest place.
is pretty much add my cutting EQ.
Gave you my heart.
Man, you can never go wrong with this basic EQ. If y'all get Pro Tools, get Pro Tools. The free one is called Pro Tools Intro. You see right here, I ain't using nothing more than like, oh, I ain't using nothing more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tracks. 5 tracks, yes, aux and master included. 5 tracks. So I could use 3 extra vocal tracks if I wanted to. I could use 2 more aux tracks, or I can use, like a mix bus, which you don't really need that right here because it's just only one lead and a background vocal. So, but there's much room to play with even just as us like just recording. Um, let me see if I'm still recording because I just heard something on my computer. But yeah, even if we're just recording a 2-track instrumental, 1 vocal, and then like 2 background vocals, man, Pro Tools Intro is the way to go. Their basic effects are so good. Like you can never go wrong. Yeah, I knew something happened. Pro Tools, man, that's one thing about my connections right here. I don't know. Sometimes they just trip out on me. Yeah, I have to do this again. Playback engine, because I'm touching my cables, kind of crammed up here. Okay, so what I like to do is cut
Yeah, you found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to
anything
go,
under 100. I like to
so I
cut
gave
it,
you my heart.
and then I already know
You
his
told me
vocal is a
it'd
little
be okay.
beefy, so I wanted
You
to cut
never
through.
let go of my
I like
heart.
to play with it.
Found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my
Yeah, right
heart.
here it sounds a little distorted right here.
You told me it'd be okay, so I took it away. Heart of stone to heart of flesh. Got
Just
it.
hear it out.
Said I'll
You
never
know what I'm
let you go.
saying? And I cut right here.
Found me in the strangest
I
place.
cut negative 4 dB. You know what I'm saying? Over here, I cut about 1.1 dB. Right there sounds good to me. Now, what I want to do is kind of get the vocal glued to the mix. Well, the top parts first, I like to use my favorite, CLA2A. This is like a legendary compressor. This just does peak reduction depending on how much you're throwing at it. I usually like to hit anything above -10. So we're gonna hear it out. It's probably gonna be a lot louder. Let me set this up better, closer.
Yeah, you found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go,
So I gotta
so I
turn
gave
down the
you my
leveling, the
heart.
gain.
You told me it'd be okay, and you never let go of my heart.
So right there, that sounds right
Found
there
me
to
in
me.
the
It sounds
strangest
perfect.
place.
It
I
kind of
didn't know
glued
where
in.
to
I know
go,
y'all
so
can't
I
hear it,
gave
but
you my heart.
it glued it right
You
in.
told me it'd
Glued
be
it right in.
okay, so I took your word.
So what I like to do after that, I usually like to add harmonics to actually, because you're doing it, you're building up, you're building a chain, a signal. So anything above this, anything under this is going to be built up upon each other. at least with Pro Tools and at least like with other software. If you're putting anything plugins under, they're going to build upon the sound. So I got the characteristics of this, and this, by the way, yes, it works as a tube compressor. I got the characteristics of the tube, the warmth in the vocals, and caught those peaks. What I like to do also is harmonics. Harmonics is key with mixing, getting different sound in, getting, that tone in the vocals, that tone in the instruments you're using. And there's no other way to go besides the 1073 Neve. So let's hear it out real quick.
You found me in
Put a
the
little bit of
strangest
analog
place.
noise.
I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, and you
I
never
like to
let go.
exaggerate first and then bring it down. Yeah, right here is
You
about
found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to
right
go.
there. Perfect. Perfect. Now I got those like grainy harmonics, kind of give it that character as well. And then what I like to do is throw another compressor on there to kind of control the harmonics. Let's see. I like RBox. RBox is dope. RBox is dope for sure. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let me use the RBox real quick. Let me use the RBox real quick. I got so many compressors. Sometimes it's hard to find it, guys. So you gotta do a little search sometimes. You know what I mean? Let me hear it out.
You found me in the strangest place.
So this
I didn't
compressor
know
is
where
gonna
to go,
add.
so I gave you my heart.
So the way this compressor works is you see this -2 decibels. So what I'm doing is turning it up -2. It's backwards. And the gain is you turn the gain down a certain amount to kind of compensate for that. So it's showing me -2 reduction. So I should turn it down -2 reduction. Sometimes that works. Sometimes you just got to play with it. It's mathematical, but at times you just got to go by the ear because something might sound different even with the numbers showing you something. You know what I mean? So let me hear it.
Yeah, you found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, and you never let go.
So as I'm going, I'm hearing. Now I can control these
Me in the
lowers.
strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, so I took your word and I gave it away.
Perfect. Perfect. So I was hearing. So when I did that compressing with this one, I heard a boost gain around 600, 500. So I wanted to control those. So I went back to the EQ and cut down. So now everything sounds even. It doesn't sound like that frequency is hitting me in the face, So let me see. Okay, so after that, RBox, I like to throw some EQ on there.
Yeah, you found me in the
So
strangest
I'll
place.
start leveling
I didn't know
this.
where to go, so I gave you my heart. You
And the
told me
EQ I
it'd
like
be
going
okay,
with
and you never let go.
is very simple stuff.
You found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart.
So this is the pretty much the 1073 EQ. I just throw this on to use the preamp saturation and maybe just let this low pass with a high pass go on. And I don't really mess with it much after that. But after that one, I really like using. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna keep it simple. Let's go to harmonics. Keep it simple, man, because I know that I be moving a lot of like, let's say this one right here, the SSL, the SSL EQ. I love using this thing. It's great. It's great. But I mean, y'all ain't familiar with a lot of these knobs yet. I mean, right here, I would probably boost to 16, but now that I have the Avalon, I can do 32. And sometimes I like to do 10 and add some color. Let's see how it sounds.
You found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told
I could do this route and I can add a boost at around 5K if I wanted to. But man, if y'all can get this plugin, I recommend it. It's so good. So good. It's called Fresh Air. Oh, man, I'm trapping. Okay, let's see. Fresh Air. Yeah, Fresh Air. So this controls the higher airs and the mid airs, and it gives you like that sweet sound without causing a lot of distortion, but it gives you the nuances of the harmonics within a good quality EQ. So y'all seen already, I added no boosting in the EQ. All I did was cut. All I did was add compression. Now what I'm gonna do is add a little bit of this to give it that flavor. Give it that flavor. And actually, I could have just done auto tune after the EQ. I mean, before the EQ, but we'll do it after, and then we can recorrect that.
Found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, and you never let go of my heart. Found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, so I took your word and I gave my life. All the stones to all the flesh. Yeah, that's an exchange that I'll never regret. Found me in the strangest place. I had nowhere to turn, so I gave you my heart. Gave you my heart and I never regret it. You hit my heart like a medic. Man of your word, you never left me on the curb. Whatever you said, you meant it. You was loving me when I was pathetic.
So you see with these, so now that it's getting to the rapping, this is when I need another compressor to control those lower frequencies. So this is when I'm telling y'all that you need to use certain compressors to control certain frequencies. So this compressor was controlling the peaks. Now we're going to control those low tones to give it that beefiness. So now I'm going to use another compressor. This is the last one I'm going to be using. And this is the one that's a real deal, man. UAD makes it, but it's great. It's worth $300, man. For real, it's actually worth $6 grand. Real thing. They emulated it after the true Class A Avalon Tube 737. 737. It has a parameter equalizer. It can go up to 32,000 on a high shelf. 32,000 on a high shelf. That's going to bring brilliance into tracks without causing distortion. So let's go ahead and hear it. I know y'all can hear it that good, but so what I do, okay, so this is how a regular compressor works right here. We got a threshold. We got the ratio, compression ratio. We got a fast attack and we got a fast or slow attack and a fast and slow release. So the way this works is like this. I'm going to turn down the threshold, and at that certain level that I turn it down to is going to turn down the overall song, the overall, vocal. Then the compression I'm going to look for, of course, is going to be like around 2 to 1, 2 to maybe 3 to 1. So for every 3 decibels that go above this line, 1 decibel gets reduced. So 1 decibel gets turned down. So let's hear this real quick. So you see one for the lows right here, for every 3 decibels that go above the high peaks, I'm reducing 1 decibel. You see that? I'm reducing 1 decibel. So now let's see if the higher I get, so 6 should be around 2 decibels. That's too much compression. Let's hear it out. So right here, this compressor is doing -2. And then this compressor right here is subtracting 1 decibel. Okay, perfect. Everything's sounding great. So now let's do a little bit of auto tune on there. Actually, let's work smarter and not harder, guys. Y'all need to get this. Auto tune unlimited. Auto key. Play the song out. Let's see what key this song's on. Let's see what key this song's on, guys. F sharp minor. F sharp minor. F sharp minor. Love using this one. low male,
You told me it'd be okay.
F sharp,
You were, and I gave you a word. All the stones to all the flesh. That's an exchange that I'll never regret. Found me in a strange place. I had nowhere to turn, so I gave you my heart. Gave you my heart and I never regret it. You hit my heart like a medic. Man of your word, you never left me on the curb. Whatever you said, you meant it. You was loving me when I was a mess. The world tried to rip my heart out my chest. Yes, thank God that he loved me the best. All the fiery dark, you gave me a vest. Hey, I had to sharpen up for my faith. I had to get in the word every day. I know he with me whenever I pray. They go and they God and they get out the way. I know my blessings they right on the way. Walking my faith.
sounds dope, sound fire. Yeah. All right, so let's see, let's see what I can do. So this is how a aux channel works. So I pretty much got everything set. I'm gonna go keep fine tuning everything as I hear it. I'm gonna turn things down. I'm gonna go back to these parameters that I set with all these channel strips and stuff like that in my inserts. So what I'm gonna do is now add some reverb, guys. So this is my insert for my reverb. I like using two of these. I got a lot, but I like using two. Can never go wrong with this one. So I'm gonna send this reverb into here through a bus 1 and 2, because it's stereo. So this reverb is stereo. So I need one channel and then another channel, stereo channel. Now I'm gonna send back, control a certain amount on here. So as we play it, well, so this thing is gonna be sent back into my input. So the output of this channel, this is how much of the output I'm sending into this channel. So it's going to be what bus 1 and 2. So my input is going to be bus 1 and 2. So this output is going into this input, and this is the main amount that I'm putting into this input. So as we hear it, I can turn this up and it's going to give me more reverb.
You told me it'd be okay, and you never let go of my heart. Found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart.
Pretty simple stuff, guys. Pretty simple stuff. So that's actually a lot of reverb. I can come back here. If it'll open up, let me just save it real quick. Yeah, come back here, and I can change the time. I can change the tail. I'll turn the tail down a little bit. Sometimes I like adding an EQ on there. Actually, let's go with this one. Cut some of the highs.
Yes, thank God that he loved me the best. All the fiery dark, you gave me a vest. Hey, I had to sharpen up for my faith. I had to get in the word every day. I know he with me whenever I pray. They go and they God and they get out the way. I know my blessings they right on the way.
So I'm gonna add a little bit of distortion, some good distortion. So I was just kind of shaping things out, adding a little more compression, cutting a little more. See, I'm not really boosting that much, guys. I'm not boosting a lot of the frequencies. A lot of people think that you need to go in there and just throw a bunch of EQ on everything. This is pretty much my main EQ that I'm using to add some air. Add some air. A lot of my other characteristics are coming from this right here. This is not an EQ, this is a harmonizer. So this works as pretty much as a 1073 distortion, which adds kind of a frequency nuance to things. And then the main other thing that I have for harmonics is this right here. This is gonna emulate the 1073 preamp. It does a pretty good job. I had it before I sold it, and I kept this. Man, this plugin is like probably like 80 bucks or something like that. But back then it was like 300, and I have three. I can use the spikes. This is API right here, guys, and this is the main big board, the big board. This has a lot of bass, a lot of for drums, for stuff like that. Um, yeah, can't go wrong with that stuff. Hold on, let me check my messages real quick. Man, got wife crazy messaging me. Uh, so what I can do here is start messing with the other track. So I like to work smarter, not harder, guys. I'm not gonna just set everything up one by one. I'm gonna copy and paste alt, drag, alt, drag, alt, drag, alt, drag. And this is pretty much what I do, man. This is what I do to everything. Copy and paste it. There's another way to do it, but sometimes that causes things to crash here. And I'm gonna add a little bit of this reverb as well. Just turn it down on this one. So let's hear the ad-libs. You hear that, guys? I hope it sounds good through here. So I'm gonna do some reverse engineering here. So for um, these background vocals, I'm gonna add some of this frequency right here around 2K to make it telephonic, and it's gonna go through my compressors that way. So when my compressors hit this, so like okay, so this EQ right here, if you see the mouse, this EQ right here, this compressor is gonna hit this frequency, and it's gonna do something else to the sound. So y'all can go back and reverse engineer. It's okay. If I wanted to, I can come back here too, and I'm like, okay, let's see how something can sound here. You know what I mean? Because you want to go by ear, and then you can adjust your compressors accordingly to how you mess with this. Yeah, it takes a long time. It's not little presets that you put it on there and just that's it. The song's over. You want things to sound the way that you hear in your head, the way that you can create the best as possible. Let me check if I'm still recording because I've never done this before. Okay, I guess I'm still recording. Perfect. So yeah, um, this song was really simple. This song was really simple. It's just like a simple track. Imagine doing a 32 channel track. Man, I had to do that the other day for review, and I had so many things on there, man. It's unbelievable. Actually, I don't know if I should open that session. Let me open the session real quick. Let me open that session real quick to show y'all everything I did in there. Built for this. I think it was No Shackles. Yeah. I think this one was 29. This one was probably 29. 29 channels, guys. I felt like I was mixing in 2010. 29 channels. 29 channels. You see? This is a complicated mix right here. The way I have things inserted, the way I have my things done, you know what I mean? I have my aux over here. And this song is dope. This song's mastered. Mastered already. Holy Spirit, have your way. There's no shackles on my feet. Remove these burdens from my shoulders. There is no shackles on my feet. Singing praise. No distortion. No distortion all the way down. No distortion all the way down. You saw that? That's what you want in a mix, guys. That's what you want in a mix. You got to control this. You see how low I had everything? You see how low I had everything mixed? Pre-gained? That's what you got to mess around with your pre-gain. So let me save that real quick. Let me bounce back to the other session. Okay. So this is pretty much how I do things. And not every song's gonna be the same. Not every song's gonna be the same for sure. Um, Let me go ahead and rehear this because I know that I'm talking a lot and just trying to show y'all. But let me go ahead and rehear this and try to see if I can get the mix in a little better. It sucks that y'all can't hear it as I'm going, man. I wish I had that cable. I'm gonna try to have one ear out, see if y'all can hear it. So what I did here is on the background vocals, I added a delay and it caused a stereo spread. So what I did is on the right side, I have 0 milliseconds and on the left, I have 23 milliseconds of a spread. And what I did is this part is going to be a little dry and this part's going to be 100% wet. So it caused stereo imaging. It caused like a three-dimensional field in the background, if you kind of would say, you know what I mean? So it's math, man. 23 milliseconds, 22%. 0 milliseconds, 100%. It's kind of mathematical. Just and it'll show you. It'll pretty much hear what you're trying to do. You're gonna hear what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? So it'll reflect. But one thing that I'm trying to go for like that I'm hearing with this. It's like a little baby type forward, almost like a rock, not rock, but like a man. I don't know how to describe it. Like a gritty telephonic upward vocal. Gritty telephonic upper upward vocal. Oh my god. Help me Jesus. So yeah, let me see if I can do something real quick. recording video.
And it might take me a minute to get it, but I can't do it without you, Lord. Your love came with no strings attached, 'cause it's so unconditional. Every day you touch my heart in the sun, you started a work, so I know you're gonna finish. Never leave me alone, wanna live in your presence. Never thought I'd be here, so I stand in the need of a blessing. You found me in the strangest place, I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me you'd be okay, and you never let go of my heart. Found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, so I took your word and I gave it away. Heart stone to heart flesh. Now that's an exchange that I'll never regret. You found me in the strangest place. I had nowhere to turn, so I gave you my heart.
Dope. Sounds dope.
Yeah. You found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me you'd be okay, and you never let go of my heart. Found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me you'd be okay, so I took your word and I gave it away. Heart stone to heart flesh. Now that's an exchange that I'll never regret.
So I'm gonna
You
play
found
with
me
the
in the strangest
speeds
place. I had nowhere to turn, so I gave you my heart. Gave you my heart and I never regret it. You got my heart like a vet. Man of your word, you never left me on the curb. Whatever you said, you meant it. You was loving me when I was a mess. World tried to rip my heart on my chest. Yes, thank God that he left me the best. All these fiery ups, you gave me a vest. Hey, I had to sharpen up my faith. I had to get in the word every day. I know he with me whenever I pray. Like a
perfect. That's what I was going for. Kind of catch all the nuances. Kind of catch the peaks, the lows.
Take me a minute to get it, but I can't do it without you, Lord. Your love came with no strings attached, 'cause it's so unconditional. Every day you touch my heart in the sun, you started a work, so I know you're gonna finish. Never leave me alone, wanna live in your presence. Never thought I'd be here, so I stand in the need of a blessing. You found me in the strangest place, I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, and you never let go of my heart. You found me in the strangest place, I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, so I took your word and I gave it away. Heart stone to heart flesh, and that's an exchange that I'll never regret. You found me in the strangest place, I had nowhere to turn, so I gave you my heart.
Dope. So yeah, I just played around with it a little bit more, guys. Sounded better for sure. Sitting well in the mix, the instrumental, everything's blending. I actually didn't even tell y'all beforehand on the instrumental. I used this de-esser to control a lot of that because it was really high and vibrant, too high and vibrant. So everything sounding good. Um, Let me see. I'm trying to think what else I can do to this. I don't think I'm gonna add a delay on it. I just added this J37. It's a tape saturator just to give it some more depth, some more feel, tone, characteristics, harmonics. All of that's very important, man. All of that's gonna break, or make your mix. Break or make your mix. Break or make your mix, guys, for sure. Like if we don't if we don't use what's available to us, I mean, it could be whatever, man. If you have just all the basic stock plugins, learn to use all of them. Learn to use them all because it'll definitely help you out in the long run. It'll show you how to really be a better artist, engineer. Um, as far as all that, that's what I can say. I'm gonna rehear it another time and see what else I can do. I'm hearing that I can do some editing on certain parts on the vocals. So let me see if this works. They don't want to do that. Oh man, this thing always messes up on me. This is just messing with the volume to the track. There we go. Okay, make the track look bigger. Guess I have to do it from here. Hold up. Come on, man. Work with me. Work with me. Do I have to do this? Why isn't this? There we go. Perfect. Okay, so what I want to do is edit some of the vocals. So what I'm gonna do is pretty much on certain parts I hear like clicking or like some T's and S's and stuff like that. But let me just go and hear the track real quick and I'll tell y'all what I'm gonna be doing next. So the yeah kind of came in a little like too rough, like yeah. So what I did is just tone down that with the fader. Okay, right here there's a go. I hear a G smack right here, go. So what I do, highlight it, backspace, fade it. Okay, that's not it. You gotta get real clinical here, guys. Real clinical. Perfect. I hear a T here. Oh, it's a K. I think this is the K right here. Yep. Take your word. Perfect. See, guys, simple stuff. You gotta know your waves, bro. I learned how waves look like. When I see a T, a S, or a K, or a G, or a P, they look certain ways. They're gonna highlight a certain way, and you cut them out and you blend it. Another K here, or I don't know, cuz a C right here. Cause only you know the way. Yeah. That boy crossover said, cause only you know the way. Okay, this own, I wanna kind of capture the undertone. So I'm gonna fade it in. Let's see how this sounds. Perfect. Actually sounds dope. Come on, crossover. You gotta work on those cants. You gotta work on those cans. Yes, you can. Si se puede. Si se puede. I'm like talking like Dora now. It's all good. We all struggle with those C's, those K's, those P's, those T's, those S's. Man, it's difficult sometimes, especially when you have not a great microphone. You know, it's the sound pressure level is not as tolerant. So um, when you have a better microphone, a better interface, better analog to digital converters, and digital to analog converters, you're gonna have more tonality overall. You're gonna have ability to control those T's or S's. I mean, you still need a pop filter. You still, because it is what it is. Sometimes we do them normally. It's everyday life. We're human, and so like me, I try to learn how to perform it, and sometimes it happens. Still, it still happens. You know, you still get the K's and the whatever, but better microphone would definitely help out a lot more, for sure.
Every day you touch my heart in the center, started a word, so I know you gon' feel it. Never leave me alone, wanna live in your presence. Never thought I'd be here, so I stand in the need of a blessing. Thought I'd be here, so I stand.
So I'm gonna move the track over a little bit to the left. I feel like it could be a little faster.
Cause it's so unconditional. Every day you touch my heart in the center. Started a word, so I know you gon' finish. Never leave me alone. Wanna live in your presence. Never thought I'd be here, so I stand in the need of a blessing, Lord. You found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, and you never let go. Oh.
Woo! You see this right here? Okay, that's the K right there.
Okay.
You don't even need that. That's just blended in. It's still you still hear okay, but you don't need that. I don't know what this is. I think breath. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. This okay was a little more natural, but I'll just blend it instead of cutting it. Perfect.
Found me in the strangest place. I had nowhere to turn, so I gave you my heart. Found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart.
The go right here, as in the beginning. Cut it out real quick. I know it's the boring part, guys. I'm sorry. I was hoping to walk y'all through it all and just do this in the background. Let me see if it's still recording. I am still recording. Awesome. So we're almost done with this part. So I took your word and I gave it away. Be okay. So I took your word and I gave it away. Now I'm gonna show y'all a little bit of automation, guys. A little bit of automation. So at the end right here, when he says, "I took your word and I gave it away," what I'm gonna do is cut out the reverb. Pretty simple to do. Pretty simple to do, especially in Pro Tools. So I'm gonna find. This is the track that's on. First, I'm gonna start with the reverb. Actually, you know what? Yeah. All I need to do is this. So with Pro Tools, it's so easy. Auto for automation. It asks you what you want to automate. I'm gonna automate the whole thing. So you do that, highlight, press shift, and then you add it, and then you okay. So now everything's gonna be automated. Whatever I do is going to kind of like mimic what I'm doing. So I want to also engage this. Right. So my automation, I need to write on my automation. Now let me hear it out. Perfect. That's all that it was. Wet to dry, real quick, and it takes off that, it kind of fades the reverb off. And I feel like that's the way the song should end. Quick automation. Sound like a singer crossover. Go ahead and hit those notes, boy. So let me just read. Now we're good. Now when nothing's gonna happen to that function. It's just gonna stay there. Um, let me see. I think what I can do is turn this down a little bit. Perfect. Perfect. Come on, guys. I'm trying to teach you how to mix like some real mastering engineers right here. Some real mix and master engineers. So let me hear the track all over. That's pretty much all the editing work that I needed to do. Cutting all those vocals out, vocal P's, T's, and you know, all that stuff. So let's hear it out again from the top. And then I'm going to start mastering after this last go over with the mix. I'm sorry y'all can't hear it. So what I did was add a quicker decayed reverb to kind of add some like reflective back and forth, and I'll just change the pre-delay as well. So let's check the tempo. Okay, so the tempo would probably be around at 6 milliseconds for this.
doing without your love. Your love came with no strings attached, 'cause it's so unconditional. Every day you touch my heart and the sun started on.
Oh, I'm losing DSP power, guys. Let me change this real quick. Playback engine. My latency. Yeah, I have a lot of plugins in here right now. Usually what I do is I like to, well, I mean, not usually, but if I'm using this many plugins on one channel, I'll just print them and then re-add something. You know what I mean? So if I know I'm good with the EQ already or whatever, I'll go over here to Audio Suite, copy it, paste it, and then I'll print it on the overall file. So I'll print it on this vocal. You know what I mean? And it'll just be there permanently. I can't go back and try to re-edit it. But as I'm still not certain and I haven't heard this out loud yet or whatever, I'm gonna leave it the way it is. I'm just using my headsets to mix this, and no mess up, guys, no mess ups. So let's see. Let me go back. Man, I wish y'all could hear this. It sucks that I don't have that cable to route the sound from Pro Tools into the video recorder.
Found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, and you never let go of my heart. Found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, so I took your word and I gave you my life. Heart stone to heart flesh. Now that's an exchange that I'll never regret. Found me in the strangest place. I had nowhere to turn, so I gave you my heart. Gave you my heart and I never regret it. Gave you my heart like a man. Man of your word, you never left me on the curb. Whatever you said, you meant it. You was loving me when I was a mess. Girl, trying to break my heart on my chest. Yeah, thank God that he loved me the best. All these fiery darts, but you gave me a best. Hey, I had to sharpen up for my faith. I had to get in the word every day. I know he with me whenever I pray. They go and let God and they get out the way. I know my blessings, they right on the way. Walking my faith like I'm right on the way. Order my feelings wherever I go, 'cause only you know the way. Please don't let me be my downfall. Don't let me be my downfall. Don't let me be my own downfall. Please don't let me be my downfall. Don't let me be my downfall. My own downfall.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna do some other automation now. So what I'm gonna do is automate this delay on certain parts and make them sound different on different parts. So same thing, just yeah, touch and latch so I don't mess up the other automation that I did before. I gotta make sure that this also is I think I cut a little bit of the tail off of this. So let's see real quick. I gotta press play and let it automate. I'm gonna start with the reverb not so loud. Perfect. Okay, perfect, perfect. So what I need to do now, since I added a reverb on the main track, uh, which was right here, I need to also automate that. So when it comes in, it's not going off. You know what I mean? So right, deverb, the automation. I'm gonna automate every single thing. Shift, select, add. Now I'm gonna automate it. Perfect. That's all it is, guys. That's all it is. So I'm hearing certain things. I think when he says a couple things are off pitch, even with the auto tune, and I can't graph with this for some reason. It hasn't been letting me graph it. But I think when he says "and I'll be okay," it goes down like a couple cents. So I'm gonna go back and rehear it.
You told me it'd be okay, and you never let go of my heart. Found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me K K K K K K K K K.
Perfect. Yeah, that's what it is.
It'd be okay, and you never. It'd be okay, and you never let go of my heart.
All right, I gotta keep going throughout the whole track and just listen. Yeah, that's pretty much it. See, I'm trying to make y'all sound beautiful. Y'all gonna sound like some super angelic on all these tracks, man. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, that one kind of went down too, so I tuned it up. Check that one out. Perfect. So this is a couple of little things that need that fine correcting. It's like 17 cents. So it's a little bit of both. I'm gonna blend this. I kind of added an effect, kind of like a harmonizing effect. You're adding two pitches together. So right here, what I'm gonna do, that hard, I'm gonna elongate that real quick. Pitch, time and shift. So what I do is I'm gonna do speed. There we go. Perfect. Made it a little longer. You see that? So it can sound smoother. Let's hear it out. Dope. And now these two sound the same.
So I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay. So I took your word and I gave it strangest place. I didn't know where to
Wait.
go. Oh, my heart. You told me it'd be okay. And you never let go. Oh, my heart. Found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go. So I gave you my heart.
The okay again.
Told me it'd be okay. 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 Okay.
Perfect.
Go. Oh, my heart. Found me in the strangest place. And you never let go of my heart. Found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay. So I took your word and I gave it away. All the stones, strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay. So I took your word and I gave it away. K, 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 K. Told me it'd be okay. So I took your word and I gave it away. All the stones and all the fish.
Almost done with the little fine tuning, guys. Almost done with this. This is what it takes to get a good mix, y'all.
So I gave you my heart. Found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart.
No, what happened? Let me save before things start tripping. Ah, I touched my cable. Bro, I can't put my headsets down without touching the stupid cable. Okay, real quick. Playback engine.
Me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, so I took your word.
You see how the okay sounds flat? Okay. It goes
K
to
K
a
K
flat
K
scale.
K K K K K K. You told me it'd be okay, so I took your word and I gave it away.
Just need that A part.
Hey, hey, hey. You told me it'd be okay, so I took your word
Perfect.
and I gave it
Man,
away.
crossover. I got you sound angelic over here, bro. Sheesh. So I feel like the mix overall is really dope, really good. Now I'm gonna get to the nitty gritty real quick. Mastering is not really that difficult. It's pretty easy. It's an easy thing to do. A lot can learn it, especially with the tools that I use. I like to use isotope, but before all that, I like to throw on some compression to glue everything together. You know what I mean? Some compression to glue everything together. So nothing more than negative 2 decibels.
You found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, and you never let go of my heart. Found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, so I took your word and I gave it away.
Ah, I can't.
You found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, and you never let go of my heart. You found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, so I took your word and I gave it away. All the storms are hopeless. Now that's an exchange that I'll never regret. Found me in the strangest place. I had nowhere to turn, so I gave you my heart. Gave you my heart and I never regret it. Gave you my heart like a baby. Man of your word, you never left me on the curb. Whatever you said, you meant it. You was loving me when I was a mess. The world tried to rip my heart out my chest. Yes, thank God that he loved me the best. All these fiery darts, but you gave me a vest. Hey, I had to sharpen up for my faith. I had to get in the word every day. I know he with me whenever I pray. They go and let God and they get out the way. I know my blessings they right on the way. Walking my faith like I'm right on the way. Order my steps wherever I go, cause only you know the way. Please don't let me be my downfall. Don't let me be my downfall. Don't let me be my own downfall. Please don't let me be my downfall. Don't let me be my downfall. My own downfall. And it might take me a minute to get it, but I can do it without
Just doing some more automation, guys.
your love. You are no stranger, 'cause it's so unconditional. Every day you touch my heart and the sun of the started to work, so I know you're gon' finish. Never leave me alone, wanna live in your presence. Never thought I'd be here, so I stand in the need of a blessing. You found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, and you never let go of my heart. You found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, so I took your word and I gave it away. All the storms are hopeless. Now that's hard. Found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, so I took your word and I gave it away. All the storms are hopeless. Now that's an exchange that I'll never regret. Found me in the strangest place. I had nowhere to turn, so I gave you my heart. Found turn, so I gave you my heart. Found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave turn, so I gave you my heart. Found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, so I took your word and I gave it away.
Perfect automation. Perfect automation. Just making sure everything sounds clean here. Clean here before I get to mastering, because a lot of these things are gonna start boosting up if I don't do the automation beforehand. So I'm gonna listen to it one more time. The first half, second half is already done.
You found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, and you never let go of my heart. You found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, so I took your word and I gave it away.
So what I did was some panning there, automation, kind of get the effect going left and right, going everywhere and stuff. I know I've been a little quiet doing this, just in my head, trying to hear it all out. But I hope y'all tuned in through this whole thing. So far I've been recording for like an hour and 19 minutes. That's crazy. So it's a long, long process of getting things mixed, guys. I'm letting y'all know it's a lot of stuff to do. Letting y'all know I'm gonna get into the master right now, and this is just one song, man. This is just one a song with not just one song. It's a song with just one track, main vocal, a two-track instrumental, and pretty much background vocals. That's it. That's all that it is, honestly. And that's how much work needs to be done, um, just to get everything sounding like a real record. You know what I mean? So right now, I like how everything's sounding, and I'm gonna just go ahead and add my ozone. I don't like 11 that much because they did a lot of changes to it, kind of messed things up for me. I think. Um, I feel like this right here is so much simpler. I don't need none of that. What I'm gonna need is this, an imager. I'm probably gonna need, yeah, vintage tape. I already know how I like to set this up. Pretty much like this. 3.6, yeah, 30 speed. My imaging. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the song. So like that, this is gonna learn. This is pretty much gonna learn. Let me turn this down. So my maximizer, true peak. My character's gonna be fast. I'm gonna put it on modern. Modern to kind of like get that. So this is gonna learn pretty much stereo imaging, where the frequencies are. So these are the main frequencies. I like to keep my mono. Oop, touch the cable again. Crazy. Man, I hate this little cable right here that I have. It's very jittery and I can't like nip it. If I do, it starts doing it. I need to get me a new cable. Um, so yeah. Let me see. So right here, what we're gonna have is my lower bass response. Anything under, I would say 200, around that, like almost 200. I like to keep it mono. So you hear the mono frequencies on that. Drums are always mono. Anything above that, I like to kind of start bringing forth. And the highs, I don't like going anywhere higher than this sometimes, like maybe 20, 24. And the mids, I kind of like play with it. But let me hear it out and see how it sounds best.
Found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, so I took your word and I gave it away. All the stones are heartless, and that's an exchange that I'll never regret. You found me in the strangest.
Man, I'm running out of that CPU power. I'm doing it on my laptop. I'm not doing it on my main computer, which is better. But yeah, so pretty much that's it that I do for the master. You see, it's so easy, man. Y'all can go ahead and buy this thing. Some vintage tape sound, which it just brings a little bit more on the lows, more on the highs. Imaging, so the song sounds stereo spread. Nothing too crazy. Less is more sometimes. And then I just learned threshold, and everything's gonna go up to like 0.1, which is pretty much like mastering. You can't go past 0.1, which that's what this does pretty much right here. This ceiling wall. I like to keep it on modern because it's a modern track. It's IRC 4. Um, it's just my preference out of all of them. They sound best. This sounds the best, and I like to keep it on modern. And right here is pretty much compressing negative zero point 0.5 decibels. So you see, like earlier when I was trying to see the gain, how much gain I had. This is pretty much how much gain I had to work with to get to 0. So once I play the song,
You found
you
me
see
in
it's
a
finally
stranger's
mastered.
place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be
You see, I
okay,
had
and you
about
never
five
let go.
decibels. I had about 5 decibels of headroom that I could use to
You found
master,
me in a stranger's
and
place.
this pretty
I
much made
didn't
it
know
up.
where to go, so I gave you my
Not, nothing's
heart.
clipping, nothing's
You
red,
told me it'd be
nothing's
okay, so
in
what
the
you get
orange or
wanna
nothing like that.
wanna get.
This is how you set up a master. If in fact if anything, I can actually go louder than this, a little bit louder than this.
You found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart.
Kind of squish it a
You
little
told me
bit.
it'd be okay, and you never let.
Okay, right there, that's enough. I don't like to go more than like -8 sometimes will be the most, but this is as good as it can get, you guys. I'm gonna actually send y'all a track as an MP3 so y'all can hear it out. Hopefully y'all like it. It sounds good and everything. Let me just go back one more time and level the vocals to the instrumental correctly. So
You found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, and you never let go of my heart. You found me in the strangest place. I didn't know where to go, so I gave you my heart. You told me it'd be okay, so I took your word and I gave it away. All the stone to all the flesh, and that's an exchange that I'll never regret. You found me in a strangest place. I had nowhere to turn, so I gave you my heart. Gave you my heart and I never regret it. You hit my heart like a magnet. Man of your word, you never left me on the curb. Whatever you said, you meant it. You was loving me when I was a mess. Girl, try to rip my heart out my chest. Yeah.
honestly, this sounds really good already. So I'm gonna just export it. So what I do is bounce mix. So this is what I was talking about, guys. I recorded this. Well, not recorded. I mixed this at 48 kilohertz, pretty much. That's what I was using to mix. So in my master to come out of Pro Tools, what I like to do is wave 192, so my rendering is higher. So the more sample rates, it's pretty much like you getting more pictures in a frame. So like higher megapixels, pretty much like a camera works with higher megapixels. It means more pictures in a frame. But since I'm gonna send it to y'all so y'all can hear it out, I'm gonna send it at 48 kilohertz, and I'm gonna send it as an MP3. And this is gonna just hinder it to 16-bit. Y'all saw I recorded at 32-bit. Y'all saw I mastered with 24 when I did the dither. I put it at 24 shaping, and now I'm gonna just bounce that. And that's pretty much it, guys. Pretty much it. Pretty much it. Like, it's not really that complicating. Once y'all learn it, it's easy to know, easy to do. So this is
My
gonna take
blessings ain't right on the way. Walking my
roughly
faith
like
like I'm
3
light on
minutes
the
to
way.
bounce or
Order
so.
my steps wherever I go, cause only you know the way. Please don't let me be my downfall. Don't let me be my downfall. Don't let me be my own downfall. Please don't let me be my downfall. Don't let me be my downfall. My own downfall.